What's happening? Will Freeman, RevolutionaryLifestyleDesign.com. Coming at you today to answer some questions on steroid use. I have some experience myself, and I get a lot of questions from guys on whether they should do them or when it's a good time to take steroids. And the short answer for if you should do it is no. That would be my recommendation at this point. But it's not the full answer, okay? I'm going to get into the full answer after, but first I'm going to give you my reasons for why you shouldn't do steroids. So the first one is, if you are a tall guy, 6 feet or over, and you have mesomorph genetics, okay, you can get anywhere from 40 to 50 pounds naturally. And if you have medium to larger shoulders, you're gonna look pretty damn big and pretty damn good naturally, okay? That's an important thing to take into account. Now, if you're a bit smaller like me, I'm 5'10", I have naturally very narrow shoulders, and my natural genetic max is 40 pounds. I don't look particularly big at my natural genetic max, all right? But if you are a bigger guy, your natural genetic max is going to be plenty good, all right? So that's one thing to take into account. You can get a lot from your natural genetic max, and that's something you definitely have to do before you even think about steroids, in my opinion, okay? The other points are sort of more concrete, all right? Steroids is a lifetime decision. There is no point taking tests, taking an oral or tren or something like that for a couple months, only to have to come off cycle, have to jumpstart your libido and your natural testosterone with PCT. Your hormones are going up and down all year, and you're going to be depressed for maybe like a month after, trying to get your natural testosterone back up, and you're going to lose most of your gains once you come off, because you don't have higher than average testosterone to maintain the gains above your natural genetic max, okay? It's a lifetime decision. The only logical way, if you're thinking about steroids, is you have to go on TRT, and you have to do like 2 to 3 cycles a year to maintain and to gain above your natural genetic max, which is going to be about 35 to 50 pounds. For most of you guys, it's going to be about 40 pounds. So if you want to hold on to 50 or 60 pounds of lean muscle, you're going to have to be on TRT year round, and you're going to have to take 2 to 3 cycles a year. All right, so this is a lifetime decision. It's a serious thing. It's not like I can just take 1 cycle and then it's I'm going to be set for life. It doesn't work that way, and it comes with a lot of complications coming off and then having to do another cycle. So it's a lifetime decision, and that's a serious thing, okay? Next point, side effects, okay? Side effects that I've had were gyno, which I got when the Arimidex, the AI that I ordered to control my estrogen online, turned out to be bunk. So my estrogen was going high, and I ended up having gyno, which were some small lumps under my pecs. I got some tamoxifen, which got rid of it quickly, thank God. I don't have it anymore, but that is that was a scary thing to go through, okay? Another side effect that I had was high liver enzymes. This is something I got under control with choline and inositol, as well as taking a liver detoxifier every day from Now Foods. But again, serious side effect. One thing I also noticed when I was doing tests was extra aggression. It was harder to control, my natural aggression, which is pretty high as it is, and that was a side effect. Also, steroids enhance your male pattern baldness. Okay, you can see I have a receding hairline here. Steroids accelerate that, and not just the recession, but they also accelerate diffuse thinning across the head. If you are prone to DHT, which is the main precursor to baldness, steroids increase the level of DHT in your body, and therefore accelerate your hair loss. All right, there's things you can do, minoxidil and RU which is a research chemical which I use on my research subject for the last couple of years to mitigate a lot of that. But again, you are taking a risk. It doesn't work for everybody. Blood pressure. Your blood pressure will go up depending on what type of cycle you're on, and it means that you have to take blood pressure supplements to control that if you can. Stuff like red yeast rice and L-carnitine and low dose of Cialis, okay? And your cholesterol goes up, the bad cholesterol, which is LDL. And you need to be able to mitigate that somehow with exercise and diet and taking cholesterol supplements. So there's a lot of potential side effects. There's more than that, but those are the ones that I've experienced. And your health is a serious business. You only get one body, so those are big things to take into account. Okay. Next point is it's expensive. Test in itself is not particularly expensive, but the AI, which controls your estrogen, stuff like Arimidex and Aromasin, is expensive. You have to take, if you want to do this smart, you have to take a lot of supplements, stuff like lowering your cholesterol, blood pressure subs, liver enzyme supplements. 5-HTP helps to control aggression. And you're looking at $200 a month, including the stuff that you might take on cycle. All right. So it is expensive. You have to have a certain level of income, and it has to be a consistent income so that you're not going like 2 or 3 months because you can't afford your stack and your supplements, or you're taking your stack and you're neglecting the supplements and therefore putting yourself in a dangerous health risk position. Another point is travel. Travel is a pain in the ass. You have to hope that your testosterone is going to get through, and of course you get it with a prescription. If you're taking any other type of cycles, then it's going to be difficult. You're going to have to mail it to yourself where you're going. And if you want to have an active travel lifestyle, it's kind of a pain in the ass to think about, okay, where am I going to get my stuff? Can I order this? Do I have to mail it to myself? It's a real pain in the dick. Next point is it's a pain in the ass, literally, because you're taking a shot in the ass or your stomach. Taking a needle every day or every other day is not particularly fun, but it's something you have to do, and it's something you have to take into account. Okay. You also have to do quarterly blood work if you want to do this smart. Okay, and it is less fun to take a needle where they're drawing, a pint of blood out of you to control your red blood count. As well as, you have to do your labs every 3 months to make sure that, all your levels are good and that your estrogen is staying within range and that your test is staying within range and your liver enzymes are okay and all these other different factors, which, is not a particularly fun thing to do. And, it costs money. You have to go to the doctor or the hospital and get a test. And it's another thing that you have to do. Okay. Also, if you are thinking of doing stuff like tren and dianabol and stuff like that, chances are going to be illegal in your country, and you want to have, no illegal habits if you can help it. Now, TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, is legal with a doctor's prescription, which I have. The Prohormones are legal, which are basically, legal type compounds. It's basically legal steroids until they get banned. They're not as effective as stuff like tren and dianabol and stuff like that, but they are legal. However, if you're looking for some of the harder, more effective stuff, it is illegal unless you are going to somewhere like Mexico or Thailand, where I live, where you can get a lot of that stuff over the counter. So that's something you have to factor in. All right. So for those reasons, for the vast majority of guys, I do not recommend taking steroids. All right. I cannot, in good conscience, recommend it. However, there are 2 other options that I'm just going to outline. Okay. But make no mistake, if you are looking for permission, I am not giving you permission. I will never give you permission to do steroids. I will always give you permission to do your own business, to go to the gym and max out your natural gains, to be as happy as possible. But you will never hear me say, it's okay, don't worry about it, you can do steroids, all right? I will never give you that permission. So the reason is I don't want anyone getting hurt on my account, all right? I don't want any young, impressionable guy saying, well, Will says it's okay, I trust Will, I'm gonna do it, and end up with gyno, or end up with liver problems, or, you know, problems with the police or anything like that. I don't want any of that to happen to you guys, because I love you. So this is not permission, I'm just outlining two different options, okay? The first one is testosterone replacement, all right? And this is completely legal. It is part of you know, an anti-aging protocol, and in every major city you will find anti-aging doctors. And this is an option for guys with low testosterone at any age, all right? So if you are cruising into your mid-30s like I am, or over 40, chances are your testosterone is going to be a fair bit lower than when you were 18. I think it starts in your late 20s, where you lose something like 1% a year of your testosterone. So by the time you're 45, you could be 15 to 25, 30% lower than you were at 18. And this is going to affect your health, your well-being, your mood, your libido. And for guys who have low testosterone replacement under doctor supervision, where you're getting all the blood work done, is a legitimate option. Okay, it's also an option for, there are a fair amount of young guys who are under 25, who have naturally low testosterone could be from a history of GMO foods, or, you know, a genetic defect, or, you know, all the estrogen in the water and in the food supply and stuff like that. There are a fair amount of guys who have naturally low testosterone at a young age, and something you'll be able to tell if you're working out really hard and really killing yourself in the gym, you can't put on muscle. If you have a naturally low libido, if you feel really sluggish, then even if you're a young guy, you might want to get yourself checked with a doctor. And, you know, if your test is low, think about testosterone replacement therapy, okay? Now, for TRT, the standard dose is about 150 to 180 milligrams per week, all right? I like testosterone enanthate because it lasts up to, I think, a week or so, whereas test prop hurts more in the injection, and it only lasts a day or two. So if you miss a shot, you feel noticeably more sluggish, whereas with Testy, you can miss a shot, and it's not a big deal. And you also are going to be recommended an AI, which is, it's basically a breast cancer drug that controls your estrogen, because when you supply the body with exogenous testosterone, your estrogen moves up in spike with that, all right, which is what you don't want. You want to have the higher T but the lower estrogen. With the estrogen comes bloating, comes mood swings, and if it gets too high, it comes gyno, which is, you know, lumps under your breast, or, you know, something along those lines, which is not good, all right? With that said, you got to make sure that you go to a good doctor, because there's a lot of doctors that I've heard prescribing guys something like 80 milligrams a week or 100 milligrams every 2 weeks, because they don't want to get sued, or, you know, they're very conservative, or they don't understand testosterone replacement. You want to go to the leading edge, cutting edge guy who's going to give you 150 to 180 milligrams, because 80 to 100 milligrams, you know, once a week or once every 2 weeks is not going to help you. In fact, it probably will put your testosterone at lower levels than they were naturally, all right? And the doctor, if he doesn't know what he's doing, he'll say, okay, you're fine, you're within the normal range. But the normal range is a very broad definition. It's like from, you know, something like 350 all the way up to 1200, and that spans the scope of like guys from 80 to, you know, 75. So it is not going to help you. You want to have it in, you know, 700 and above, which is the high end of the natural range, so that you get the full benefit. So make sure that you go to a good doctor in regards to that, all right? You should also check out John Chrysler's book, Testosterone Replacement Therapy, on Amazon. He's probably one of the cutting edge guys. There's another doctor, Rand, I forget his last name, but he has videos on YouTube, Muscle Insider, who's also very good. But the testosterone replacement handbook that John Chrysler has is very good, and he recommends subcutaneous injection, which is an injection into the fat of the stomach, which I find is a lot better than injecting into your muscle because there's less scar tissue and it's less painful. All right. I now do it every day because, like I said, I had a problem getting the right AI, and I had bunk AI, which gave me gyno. So I do my injection every day to make sure that my estrogen isn't going wild, as opposed to like when you do it once a week and you take 180 milligrams, your estrogen's going to be high for like a day or two and your face is going to look a bit bloated. But when you do it once every day, you have those consistent levels and consistent energy throughout the week, and I find that to be a more effective method, the sub-Q every day or every other day, than doing it once a week. And of course making sure that you have a proper AI in place, and also make sure that you have some tamoxifen in place just in case you feel the signs of gyno, and of course go in and check with your doctor if you're feeling any signs of gyno or anything like that. All right, but chances are you won't if you're taking a shot every day, you're not taking too much, and you're being monitored by your doctor, and you have legitimate Arimidex that you're getting through the pharmacy from your doctor. Okay, and the TRT, again, it's an option primarily for health, libido, well-being, and secondarily for cosmetic in that situation. Okay, in the pure situation of a guy with low test, then the cosmetic is going to be secondary. Your primary reason is going to be health, libido, well-being, and getting your levels back to where they were when you were younger, so that you have a young man's energy and can put that into your business and your love life and all these things. But the cosmetic reason is secondary. All right. Now, that's the first option. The second option is for a serious trainee who is 25 or older. Okay, by a serious trainee, I mean a guy who's been working out for 2 to 3 years, who's been eating the right diet, who's been consistently in the gym, and who has maxed out his natural genetic potential, which is going to be, as I said, 35 to 50 pounds naturally. Mine is 40 pounds naturally. All right. The reason this is important, there's a couple reasons it's important, that you've already proven yourself to be serious. Okay, number one, if you're a big guy, if you have naturally wider shoulders than I do, and you're taller than I am, and you have better genetics for building muscle, okay, you could be 6'2", broad-shouldered, and 50 pounds of muscle. So you're sitting at like 200, 210 naturally, which is going to make you look very fucking good. You're going to look better than I do on cycle because you have wide shoulders and you just look bigger. So a good part of the reason before you even need to think about steroids and stuff like that is to see how good you look naturally. All right, if you're happy with the way you look naturally, then you can just cruise on that. All right, and that's why you need to get to that genetic point to say, okay, am I happy where I am, or do I want to look a bit bigger? All right, for someone like me who's 120 pounds naturally, that was my high school weight, 5'10", 120 pounds. I'm average height, but I have very small shoulders. At my natural max, at like 9% body fat, I was like 158 pounds. So I looked like a lightweight UFC fighter, which is I looked really good and shredded with my shirt off, but with my shirt on, I still looked like basically a slim fit guy. All right, so for me, it wasn't quite satisfactory, my natural genetic max. The other option was I got up to 180, and I had more muscle because I wasn't as lean, but I had fat. So I looked decent with my shirt off, but I had some fat on my face, or I looked decent with my shirt on, but I had fat on my face, and I didn't look great with my shirt off. I just looked bulky. I looked big, but I looked bulky, and that wasn't an option too. So like a lean 175, 170 is probably where I look best, about 175, but my natural max is a lean 160, all right? So that's something that I realized, but I had to hit my genetic max to realize that, all right? And I say over 25, okay, because if you're under 25, fucking around with your hormones can permanently damage your HPT axis, which is, your pituitary, your hypothalamus, Okay, this is not 100% proven, but it's something that I've done some research on, and it's something you have to take into account. All right, because you're young, you're not fully developed yet. Okay, your endocrine system is still developing, so you can fuck all that up by fucking around with your hormones, and not something you want to do. Also, if you're under 25, your rational brain is not fully developed. Okay, I remember being 18, 19, and if I'd taken steroids then, I wouldn't have done it the proper way. I would just be like, yeah, let's fucking do it, man. Let's do it. I'm gonna look so good at the beach. I'm gonna get so many girls. And I wouldn't have had the maturity to say, okay, this is a lifetime decision. I have to make sure my income's right. I have to get all these supplements. I have to get all this blood work. I have to hide it from my mom. I have to do all these things, okay? And I would just be thinking about like girls at the beach, girls at the beach. Oh man, I'm gonna get laid so much. And I wouldn't be doing it as a mature adult, all right? 25 to me is the benchmark for when you start to mature as a man. Ideally above 30 when you make this decision, okay? Ideally above 30, all right? Because it's a very serious decision. You don't want to damage your HPT axis, and you also want to make sure that this is a lifetime decision, that you are fucking going to commit to it, and that you've proven to yourself that you've committed to it. You've committed to working out already because you've done 2 or 3 years of consistent working out and controlling your diet and all those things, all right? You need real dedication to take a shot consistently. You need real dedication to be in the gym 2 to 3 times a week. You need real dedication to eat properly. You need real dedication to take all the supplements that you need for TRT and cycles, and the blood work, and doing your homework, and the hair loss stuff that you need to take into account. That's a grown man fucking decision, all right? This is not a boy decision. This is a grown man decision. So 25 and above, and proving to yourself that you are already a serious fucking trainee. All right, which means you've hit your genetic max and you're on point on diet and all those things. All right, what you can expect, okay, when you start TRT, I get about 5 pounds extra naturally. So about 165 is where I stand at TRT, as opposed to 158, 159 at my natural genetic max. You can see now I'm not as big as when I started doing videos. Okay, that's because I've been fucking around with the drugs a lot less, making sure that my liver enzymes are good, making sure that my gyno, I'm not gonna flare up with gyno, making sure I'm getting the right Aribonex, and really prioritizing my health over getting bigger. However, I'm about to be gearing up in the next year to do a few things to get back to that weight, but like I said, where I'm at now is pretty much strictly from TRT, which is about 165. So, but as I said, 5 or 6 pounds more than my natural genetic max, which is not particularly big. I mean, I look pretty good with my shirt off. I look like I work out with my shirt on, but I don't look particularly big right now. However, that is just from coming off a few of those cycles that I was doing, because I had to get my health in check. And I will be up to 170, 175 by the end of next year, and that will probably be it for me in terms of bodybuilding. I'll probably just try and maintain that look for the rest of my life, which is going to be about 55 pounds of lean muscle, okay? So if you're a serious trainee and you're thinking about this option, the steroid option, 50 to 60 pounds of muscle is where you should be looking at, okay? Because that tends to be the ideal body for girls. And going above that increases the amount of health risks, and going to that hardcore bodybuilder of 100 pounds, it can't, I don't think that's a good move. It just takes too much, too many drugs, too bad for your health profile. And also, a lot of girls don't like a guy who's that ridiculously huge, but like a guy who's 10 to 20 pounds over his genetic max is going to look like a fitness model, basically, which is the male fitness model is pretty much the ideal body for guys. Someone like a young Mark Wahlberg, who is on drugs, someone like Jason Statham in The Transporter, where he takes his shirt off, who is also on drugs. It's pretty much the ideal body, which is about 50 to 60 pounds of lean muscle at about 8 to 10% body fat, all right? Now, if you want to maintain that, okay, so let's say your genetic max at 40 pounds, go on TRT to get at the highest testosterone level throughout the year. That gets you another 5 pounds. And so that's 45 pounds of lean muscle. To get to 55 pounds, you're gonna have to take 3 cycles a year. Okay, that's what a lot of guys don't tell you. You can't stop. When you stop a cycle for too long, a lot of the time you lose your gains. It doesn't happen right away, and you keep more gains when you take proper cycles like tren and the illegal steroids, which again I can't recommend you to do anything illegal, than you do with prohormones. Prohormones tend to wear off pretty quickly. And my man Derek from moreplatesmoredates.com says he believes that prohormones don't actually build muscle. They just put blood and glycogen into the muscles, which is why it wears off so quickly, which might be true. I'm not sure. I'm not enough of an expert to say that. But again, think about the fact that you're going to have to do a cycle every quarter, 3 times a year, not quite every quarter, to maintain that, to get up to get that extra 10 pounds. That's going to put you at 55 to 60 pounds of muscle, and you're going to have to do that 3 times a year to maintain that level, most likely. All right. Again, that's why I'm telling you, this is a lifetime decision. Every guy says he's just going to take 1 cycle and finish. No one does, because you go right back to your baseline. All right, you have to do it. You have to do the TRT for life, and you have to do the 2 to 3 cycles a year for life if you want to maintain 10 to 20 pounds above your natural genetic max. All right, so that's what you need to expect for this option number 2. All right, and you might have to go to countries like Mexico and Thailand to do it. All right, if you go to Mexico or Thailand, a lot of guys come out here for steroid holidays because you can get it over the counter at the pharmacy. The traveling and all that is something that you're gonna have to factor in. Okay. Again, I can't tell you to illegally order illegal steroids online. All right, I'm just trying to give you an option that's legal, which is the steroid holiday. All right. But that's all the stuff you have to factor in. So if you are above 25 and you're a serious trainee and your lifetime decision, all right, that is an option to live 10 to 20 pounds above your genetic max. Again, I'm not giving you permission. I'm not telling you to do anything illegal. I'm just outlining that as an option for guys who are very fucking serious and who have a mature mentality, okay? That's it. I hope that answers a lot of your questions on steroids. I hope it's useful. And as always, I want to thank you for watching the video, checking out my site at revolutionarylifestyledesign.com. And I wish you all the best in your personal development journey.